naked shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Welcome to Iggy Garcia Live. This is a special episode tonight. I wanted to welcome everybody to the show. I know I haven't been on here lately, but today I have some great news. And a lot of you have probably already heard, and a lot of you have probably already kind of brought up to speed a little bit, because the news travels fast in our digital world that we live in. And for those of you who know, that the Army Corps of Engineers has denied an easement for the Dakota Pipeline access. They denied them the permits for that. I don't know what that entails. I don't know what that means. I'm not exactly sure what happens, but my friends and everybody who's down there who are water protectors or who have been water protectors, for them, they feel like it's a huge, huge victory. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with it. It's a huge victory, that it means something, that it's important, and that what we have been doing for the last several months, and for this whole year actually, is been nothing but nothing. I don't even want to call it a miracle. It's just been the efforts of human beings coming together and working together and doing. It is a miracle. I take that back. It is a miracle. It is a miracle of people joining together for a common cause, a common goal, a common belief, something in their heart that's super, super, super valid and important. And, all those prayers and all those intentions that we've been setting to the universe and just putting out to the universe to just hear us, to hear our call, to hear our plea, for not just clean water, but just the future, about the future. The people in the future heard us, and today we had a prayer vigil that some folks invited me and several of my friends to go, and we all came together. And there it was very powerful. We said some very powerful things. We talked about opening up the hearts of the people who are in charge, who are our leadership, to think about this, to understand that water, the essence of life, what we drink, is so valuable and so important. I want to say, to the administration, it's about damn time, in my opinion. But I don't want to come from an angry place. I want to come from a place of saying, maybe they had to think about things. I don't know. But it's done. At least for now, it's done. It's in check. Now, we can't stop. We can't just quit and just say, oh, yeah, we did it, blah, blah, blah. No, we actually have to even be more vigilant, and even more prayers, and even more understanding, because we have a whole new administration coming into office, coming into play, a whole group of people that, have a whole different thinking about things. And I hope that they watched today what they saw today. We had veterans showing up. People asked me, do you think that's going to make a difference? I said, the more numbers that are there makes a huge difference. If 100 show up, 3,000 show up, my God, that makes a huge difference. Greg Braden talked about how in war-torn areas, 100 people could pray and cause, both sides to stop shooting at each other. But as soon as those people leave, it just starts up again. So we can't let our guard down. We can't just say, okay, this is a victory. This is a victory for a battle. This war is not over. It's if you want to call it a war, but it is something that is so close to us. We all need this. The waters are the last things. We cannot hurt the water. We just can't do that. Mother Earth has put her call out. Mother Earth is saying, you need to protect me. I can protect myself, but you need to protect me. That way you won't perish, so you won't die. So why accelerate the death process? Why accelerate, contaminating the waters with oil? Our history has already shown that we've done that. We've done it in the Gulf of Mexico. We've done that in Alaska. We do it just in little places, around us. There's leaks every day. It's because our dependency on this fossil fuel, these dead creatures, these dinosaurs, these plant lives, these form lives. All this is crude oil. It's crude. That's why it's called crude, because it's death. It's dead. It's supposed to be dead. It's supposed to be buried. Man, with its brain and his capacity, I don't understand why we can't create better technologies to, advance ourselves versus, trying to make a profit off everybody's back. So your prayers did come in handy. Your prayers did come in strong. Your prayers were valid. You who suffered, and those of you who gave your bodies and gave your spirit and your souls in the freezing waters and rains, those of you who sacrificed everything that you did, all your lively possessions, you did it. This is a celebration, not the celebration, but it is a celebration. To have stopped something as big and powerful as that. When the people come together and when the people challenge the system, we can do anything. Our voices were heard. Did they hang up the phones at the White House? They took them off the hook probably because we called so much and we wrote so many letters. I tell you, the pen is mightier than the sword. I always say that. Those of you who write a campaign, if you don't think Obama was listening, if you don't think the Justice Department was listening, you're wrong, those of you. Those of you who say, well, it doesn't affect me. It does affect you. It affects all of us. It affects all of us. You have to be vigilant. So my brothers and sisters who are out there, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, water protectors, for standing up. I am also a water protector. I have been there, but it doesn't mean that you can't be a water protector. Everybody who stood up, everybody who gave a prayer, everybody who gave an acknowledgement, everybody who shed a tear is a water protector. You didn't have to be on the front lines to be called a water protector. Water protectors will come in all shapes and sizes and forms and abilities, and they did their part. I don't have to point out who did their part. Everybody knows who did their part. Everybody knows who was involved. And those of you who stood and watched, you also did your part by standing and watching. Because by standing and watching and not doing anything, you also affected the outcome of what happened. Because the observer can also change the things. Just thinking that, wow, maybe this isn't right, is changing in the observation of what's happening. Because all of this we're all connected. And so when the natives of indigenous cultures say we are all related, that we're all from the earth, because we are. One day our bones would be the crude oil. If we continue in that capacity, they will pump us up out of the ground and fuel our cars. If that's what our destiny is to be, I hope not. I hope we're better than that. I hope we can surpass the need for fossil fuels because we have the sun. Every day it shines upon us. Every day it casts its rays on us. Every day we're thankful. Why do indigenous people, why do the Incas, my people, why do the peoples of South America say they worship the sun? They only worship the sun because it was every day they woke up, it was there. And every day it gave life. Every day it shined upon us. It's not to discount that there's a universal God, but a universal God is involved in that process. Now, I'm not here to preach, but I'm here to tell you about prayer. Your prayers is the reason why we're here today, why I'm able to talk to you today, because we did something together. This was a team effort. This was a group of people sacrificing their spirits and their souls. So we all did this together, all of us with our heart. We took out the blinders. We looked past the illusion that we had to have at once and that we needed it, But the battle's not over. There are other pipelines being built as we speak. There's one in Northeast Ohio, I believe, being built right now. So, the battle's not over. The battle is, we need to keep on it constantly, reminding the people that we, the people elect, that we're watching you and that we're going to make you accountable, that we're going to make sure if one drop of oil hits that water, that you will be responsible and you will be accountable. You will be accountable. And that's why we want you to remember, because we don't forget. You may think we forget. You may think that, in the back of our minds, we're playing PlayStation and watching, TV and watching some football or basketball or watching our favorite soap opera or whatever. But in the back of our heads, we never forget. We never forget. So this is a reminder to you that we're here. We're here to stay, and we're here to be in the back of your pocket. We're here to be in the back side of you. We're going to breathe down your back and let you know that we're here. We have to. We can't be dormant anymore. We can't just put our trust in people who are representing us. We have seen now, historically, over and over, when we do that, when the masses just let things go, this is what can happen. But now the masses have joined from all over the world, not just in this country, all over. We came to Standing Rock, okay, a very sacred place, a very important place in history. We have made history today. Everybody involved, anybody who's been involved has made history today. We cut the head off of that snake today. Now, will that snake grow? Well, it won't only grow if we back away and we call this a victory dance and we walk away. We can't walk away. Is this a ploy for them to just make us feel good? And because winter's coming, they just weren't going to construct anyhow? Is this a ploy? I don't know. But I'll tell you, if you play with the people will remind you, and they will even become more vigilant and become more prayerful and become more entrenched in their belief system. You're creating a movement. You, America, are creating a movement because your government has forced you to stand up and fight because they're not doing the right things for us. They know better. They know better, and they don't do better for us. So we have to take control like we did, like all of us did. Those of you who were in prayer vigil today at Pearls of Wisdom with me and my other friends, all of us together, we shared our intentions, we shared our prayers and we sent it to the universe. We sent it to Standing Rock. We sent it to wherever it needed to be. Maybe that was that guy sitting there in that office today going, I wonder if I should deny this, this permit. I know it's wrong, but that's what made the difference today. That made the difference. Every little thing counts. Every little prayer works. Every little push helps. And if you don't think that our leadership is watching and paying attention to what's going on, you're only kidding yourself. They are watching. They're very aware of what we're doing. They're very aware. They know me. They know all the people who are spearheading all these little pushes and campaigns. And I'm going to keep pushing and spearheading little campaigns. But I'm not the only one. There's thousands of people who are doing this. You're doing it. Your neighbors are doing it. There are people you don't even know are doing it. But we all have to be involved. We all have to set our prayers and intentions. And those of you who don't believe in prayers and intentions, that's why I threw intentions in there. Because, for some people, they don't resonate with prayer. They don't understand what that means. But I do. For me, it means something. It means that I'm going to send piece of me to heal piece of that. I want it to heal. All healing is self-healing. In order for this country to heal those wounds that we have been left open for centuries, we have to do it ourselves. Now, the Native Americans were alone in the beginning. Now they're not alone. And hopefully we're never alone. Hopefully we don't back away from them. Let's not stop. Let's continue. Let's continue to remind Obama in the last days of his administration, to free those leaders who were in prison because they stood up for something they believed in. There's countless indigenous leaders who have been arrested, who are in jail. Those people need to be freed too. They're not criminals. They stood up for something they believed in, and they were made an example of. Now, that example only fueled us and made us stronger. That's why we stayed there. So I challenge the administration that's in office. I challenge the next administration. Free those men and women that you've arrested. Release them. Let them go. They have families and friends. Lesser criminals or bigger criminals have been let go and pardoned by you. Now it's time to pardon those folks who stood up at Standing Rock, who were arrested unjustly. Many have been. It's time to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do the right thing. Do the right thing. Yeah, it shouldn't have been this way. But if they wouldn't have done things unethically and under the table and tried to do things, we would never had to do this. But we're watching you. We're watching you, government. We're watching you. We're watching you, leadership. We're watching you, people we vote into office. I'm watching you with my eyes, with my heart, in my spirit, my soul. And I'm here to remind you that if you try to lay another pipeline under the waters, under the rivers, and through the woods, It's not going to be easy because we're not just going to say, okay, it's okay. We've got plenty of pipelines that run through this country. I don't think we need any more just because somebody has money and somebody wants to do. And so now what? The stock market's going to go down and our gas prices are going to go up tomorrow because of this denial. Is that going to be the excuse? The rich always get rich and they always find a way and they always have their damn excuses. Okay. So don't be surprised if your gas goes up tomorrow to 250 or whatever. Okay. I'm just warning you ahead of time because that's how they play. Oh, you heard us. You're a conglomerate. You're a conglomerate. You can write half this stuff off. So if you want to make a dent in their pocketbooks, then you protest. You stand there. You become a water protector. You become an earth protector, a tree protector. And you stand there and you say, no, not here, not today, never. Because if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? Aliens from outer space aren't going to come here. They haven't come yet. Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe. But either way, what I'm saying is if we don't stand, who's going to stand for the water? Who's going to stand for Mother Earth? We are. We're going to stand. We have to stand. Nobody else can stand but us. What happened today is awesome. It's super awesome because you know what? It just means that we've been heard. We've been heard. That our voices did not go in vain. Because we knew today, on the 4th and the 5th, we're coming to a crucial head, a pivot point, a point where we had to make a decision. What was going to happen? What is going to happen to these people? These people have to leave this land. They were going to be forced. When the North camp was pushed out, it was very evident that they were willing to use force. Now, there are people on the other side of this campaign as well who have families and who probably have mixed feelings and emotions, and they're probably getting a paycheck, and they're probably wondering, what should I do? And they're probably going through. The only thing I can say to them is you're going to have to make your decisions as well. You're going to have to make your choices. Many of your comrades stepped away and dropped their badges and said, you know what, I can't do this. It's up to you if you want to do that. I can't tell you to do that, but I can tell you this. We're not going to back down. And if you have to hit me with 100 rubber bullets, then you're going to have to, because you're not going to build that pipeline. You're not going to put it in the water. You're not going to contaminate our lands anymore. One of the most screwed over group of people in this country have been the Native Americans. Okay? They have suffered from the hands of my ancestors, the Europeans. I'm also Native American as well, but I'm also European. But I embrace both sides of my cultures. I understand both sides. So the Native Americans have suffered greatly, put on reservations. But now the rainbow tribes have come together. The peaceful rainbow people. I don't even want to call them all warriors because not everybody is a fighter. Some people come in peace. Some people come for harmony and hope. But we are the rainbows. We are those people. We are what the Hopi spoke about. We are that group, that calls out. We are the rainbows. We are the flag. The Inca flag is the rainbow. That's what you guys see when I do my medicine, when I'm doing my ceremonies. You see my colors that I wear, the rainbow colors. Okay? Those are the Incas. Those are the colors of the sun. Those are the rays that come from, Solinti. Solinti is the sun. Okay, and the black also represents the shadow sides of ourselves, because where there is light, there's also shadows cast. We can't just deny that there is a shadow aspect to us. So what you saw today and what you've seen at Standing Rock is also a reflection of our light and shadow sides of who we are as a people in this country, as people on this planet, as human beings on this earth. There is a relationship between us. But I tell you, if you don't believe in prayer, today is a good example of prayer working. Now, prayer doesn't work the way we may think it should work. Sometimes things are spontaneous and very quickly and very fast. And I believe that. And sometimes it's like cooking, or baking a pie very slowly, or a cake. You can't rush it. It has to take its time. Or a good wine fermenting in a bottle. I guess the best example of this being a very good wine fermenting, and eventually the labor and the love that you put into that bottle of wine now You're able to taste the results of that. Today, we get to taste the results of our efforts. We get to taste and see and feel, and for once, maybe smile. A smile that means something. People are ecstatic, and they're just beside themselves today, and as they should be, because many people have suffered. Many people have worked very hard. I can't claim to say anything except that I was there as a witness. But there are people who've been there since day one, and those people have suffered and given away everything. And I thank those people. For when I could not be there or you could not be there, they were there. Because once we leave and this ends, the Sioux will be there. The people of those lands will be there on both sides. Those people will be there. We will walk away one day with our victories and say, I stood at Standing Rock. But remember, when we leave, when the last person walks from that sacred land, there will still be people there who live there and go through everything every day, like you do through your routines here and where you live. We cannot just forget them. We cannot just put them out of our minds and make it just something that, oh, I was there. No, we always have to be a reminder that we stood. We stood, and I'm glad that the leaders that were there for the water protectors held strong. I'm glad that they had the courage and the understanding when they were probably so angry and wanted to maybe push the envelope a little more. I'm glad that they had the will and the courage to say, brothers and sisters, we're not going to fight these guys. We can only hold space, play our drums, sing our songs, feed the people, clothe the people, occupy the space. And within that, that's very powerful. Because in today's world, we just can't go and hurt people to prove a point or to move oil in for money. Today, money was defeated. Oil was defeated. Big corporation was defeated. Okay, greed was defeated. The powerful were defeated today. Because the common man and the common woman, I don't even want to call them common because they're beyond common. We don't even have words for what you did today, what has happened today. Because I'm not common. I'm human. I stood. I believed. It resonated with me. I got it. And you know what? And I'm glad the veterans showed up today. I'm glad they came because I think that sent a message, powerful message too. Were we willing to sacrifice our own veterans? Was our government willing to hose them down, shoot them with rubber bullets, and push them? What would have happened? I don't know, and I'm glad nothing happened in that aspect. I'm glad that the Army Corps of Engineers said, hey, you know what? We're denying you the easement and we're denying you the permits. Because the same way they were going to put that pipeline somewhere else, and those people denied it and rejected it, the people of Standing Rock, Cannonball, and all those areas that run through there also denied it. Because inhumane behavior occurred there. That will never be forgotten. If they think that we're going to forget, we'll always tell the story of what happened, how the people were abused and how they were, denied access to their inalienable right from Mother Earth, not from man, but from Mother Earth, to have clean air, clean water. This is the stepping stone. Standing Rock is the stepping stone for the future. Today, our voice was heard. Today, history was made. History is made. History was made. History will be written by many versions of this story. But today, the rainbows came. Today, the rainbows prevailed. Today, the tribe of man is one. For those of us who have put away and put aside our own petty belief systems, our own quarrels, and our own doctrines for one common goal, to create one huge tribe, and that tribe is humanity, the Rainbow Tribe. The Rainbow Tribe consists of many people. Now, from there have come many new, brand new emergences, brand new people, brand new medicines, brand new traditions, old traditions brought back, shared, brought together. I can't even begin to say what has come from that, because now those flowers are blooming. Those seeds that we sat at Standing Rock are now going to grow. And now we have to tend that garden beautifully. We have to take care of it. We have to water it, nurture it, and make sure that it doesn't whittle away. We need the water. We need the bloodline of the earth. We need that. We need the air. So all of you, awesome work. I'm glad that you stood there, and I'm glad that you prayed. Your intentions, the intentions that we wanted something better for our children, and we wanted something better for our grandchildren, and we wanted something better for us now, today. Sometimes we think about the future, but every day we step into the future. So today we have a chance to have clean water. Today we drink and we process and clean that water. We drink that water. That way the animals, the fish, the people will have a vital source of water. It's ours. We're gifted that. It is our responsibility to take care of that. It is us who has to make sure that it does not become contaminated. It is us that needs to make sure that the next generation will prosper, because it's on loan to us from them. Everything we use is somebody else's further down the line. Because we are one heart, one beat, one world, one universe. We're not separate. We just look different. But we only look different because of the colors of our skin. We look different because of the belief systems we have. But today, we all look the same. We all feel the same. Today, we all wanted one thing. And that one thing is to be heard, and to be understood, and to not be abused. Today, we beat the system. Today, the system has been given a warning that we're not going to lay down. We're not just going to stop. Today, we come from a place of love. Now, I'm a human, you're a human. We all make mistakes. We all screw up. That's just normal. I come from a place of peace. Sometimes I don't come from a place of peace. Sometimes I'm angry. You think I was angry when I was down there at Standing Rock? I was so beside myself. I couldn't believe that this was happening in 2016. I couldn't believe that we were willing to, I don't know what we were going to do. I don't know what our government was willing to do to these people. I was really afraid. People ask me, Iggy, what do you think is going to happen between today, the 4th and the 5th? I don't know, man. I'm pretty good about forecasting and visualizing that stuff, but it was cloudy. I was hoping that nothing bad was going to happen, because there's been enough bad stuff down there, and I'm glad that the hearts and the spirits and the souls of the Army Corps of Engineers and the people who were behind the administration were able to say, hey, you know what? We just need to slow down a little bit and just wait, because you're in history, in our way of race, you will always be remembered by what you did for others. You will always be remembered if you fed the poor, tended to the sick, helped the weak, because sometimes those folks can't help themselves. You will always be remembered by history books. You will always be remembered. It's like Andrew Jackson, even though, what he did. If you go back in your history books, the Supreme Court ruled in the favor of the Cherokees and other nations, but yet Andrew Jackson defied that call. And that's why we have the Trail of Tears. That's one aspect of why we have it. That history can never be repeated. And that could have easily happened at Standing Rock. That could have happened. That could have really happened. And I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm glad that our leaders woke up. I'm glad that our leaders said, it's enough. Now, I encourage you to go and study and read and look up news articles, watch some of the videos that are coming through, the live streams from South Dakota and North Dakota area, and what's going on down there and Standing Rock. I encourage you to try to find those links and plug into them, okay, because they're firsthand. And you know what? And it's important. Every day I pray that this little vial that I brought home and this little vial of water and soil from Standing Rock, that, it would send my prayers and my loves to, the bigger water, the bigger consciousness. Today, humanity won on both sides. Both sides of humanity won today. On both sides. It's a victory for all humans, for everybody. History will always remember those who are in power, what they did for others. Always remember that. Our story may be very small. A group of people got together and stood against the pipeline. And that may only be our story that's written. But the story will always be written too. The Obama administration made the choice to at least stop the potentiality of, something happening. History would have written him as not doing anything if something did happen in the near future. Now, did he do it for the right reasons or the wrong reasons? It doesn't matter. He did it. They did it. His administration came to the realization that this is a human effort. This isn't a native thing anymore. It may have started as a native thing, but it became a global thing. It became a rainbow tribe thing. There are blacks, whites, Asians, every ethnicity you can probably think of is at Standing Rock. So the rainbow tribe has gathered. They've gathered in that place. And they are there, representing all of us who cannot go there. Don't get down on yourself for not being able to be there, because your prayers is what kept them going. Your smoke is what kept them going. Your donations is what kept them going. Your heart and your belief in them is what has kept them going. Today we all can rejoice and say thank you. Thank you, because I'm so happy that I didn't know how to feel. I was just like, I almost thought it was a joke. And I was like, this is real. I was just like, I mean, the happiness and smiles on these folks' faces, it was just incredible to see them smiling. Because I tell you, when I was down there, people smiled because it was just a thing to do. But it was hard to smile. It was hard to celebrate anything, because it was such a big concern of what they were standing for. But hopefully tonight they can celebrate a little bit this victory of this big war against big oil, against the black snake. Everybody came together, and that's what's important, that our prayers, that the universe carried our prayers and recycled the negative energy and brought it back down to earth, that our intentions were felt, that every day when one child cried, or when one picture came out of there where someone was injured and hurt, and when someone was being sprayed with water, that it touched somebody's heart, that it moved them to say, we can't do this. What are we doing? Like many of you, I sat there and watched these videos, and it was just, I couldn't believe this was my country. I couldn't believe this was the country that adopted me, was doing. I don't even know that it was even possible to do that. It blew my mind. I'm still kind of getting over that a little bit. It doesn't make it better or wrong or right anymore. It's still wrong. But what makes my heart a little bit easier, it feels a little bit better, is that the permits were denied, the easement was denied. But like I said earlier in this live stream, we can't stop. We can't just say, "Oh yeah, we won, it's done, woohoo!" Because it's not a football game, it's not a baseball game, it's not a soccer game, it's not a card game, it's not a video game. This is life, and we have to be vigilant. We have to be on it to the very end. Even if that means it's 25 years from now, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, or next week, or 2 months from now. We just can't disappear. We can't just say, yay, because all of you know that is big company, big money won't stop either. They won't stop. That's why I want to remind you, they have powerful lawyers, they have powerful, influences, but we do too. We have great spirit, we have God, we have the angels, we have our ancestors, we have the water, we have the wind, we have the elements, we have the animals, all our brothers and sisters. So never, never, ever give up. Never, never, ever quit. We have our team, like they have their team, and my team is the Rainbow Tribe. My team is the people who believe in having sacredness back in our lives. We now have gone back to what it used to be, to fend for the land, and to go back and honor the land, and to stand for the land, and give joy for her beauty and for her gifts. Our survival depends on us taking care of her, because it's us who will suffer, not the earth. The earth will remain and will transmute and transform into whatever she needs to be. But she wants us to be on her. She wants us to be part of her. But in order to do that, we have to acknowledge her, and we have to give kudos to her. We have to thank her, embrace her, and love her. You will never look at the air the same way. You will never look at the wind the same way. You will never look at a cloud the same way. You will not look at how you pump your gas the same way anymore. You will not look at water the same way anymore. You will look at it with a sacredness. You will look at everything now from this point on as being sacred. Everything that you touch, you will resonate with now. And especially those who are connected as water protectors. You will never come back the same. None of us will ever be the same now. Now, every time you drink water, even if you don't necessarily acknowledge it, but in the back of your mind, you'll go, this is sacredness. The longest I can go without water is maybe 2-3 days. I can go out without food for a long time. But without water, water is the only thing that can quench your thirst. It's the only thing that can heal you. It's the only thing that can keep you stable. But it's also something that's very powerful. Too much of it at one given time can also harm you. That's how powerful it is. Water also can form any container. Water can destroy continents, worlds, hurricanes, tsunamis. Water is powerful, super powerful. So I give thanks to the water. I say thank you. I give thanks to that unseen energy, whatever you call it, God, Wayakin, Great Spirit, whatever you call it, Buddha, whatever you call it. Thank you. Thank you for hearing us. Thank you for knowing what was best for us. What was best for us, that we had to stand for something. If it was just handed to us and given to us, we probably wouldn't appreciate it as well. Those of us who were blown over by helicopters like myself, and those of us who drove 18 hours to get there, that was part of our journey. That was part of our indoctrination to prepare us to get there. And once we got there, we realized that it was very, very serious situation. I know for me, when I was there, it was an eye-opening experience. There were other people who were still there, but even in those days that I was there, it moved me. It moved me in ways I can't even explain to you. But I know one thing. I know one thing it did to me, though. It made me appreciate the small things. It made me appreciate that this wooden chair that I'm on was once a living thing, and now it's transmuted into this physicality of a chair that holds energy. But the energy of the tree is still there. It's still the tree. It's just taken a new form. You know? The water I just drank could be millions of years old, processed through systems, through rocks, from whatever. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the electricity that flows through my house to light my light, to power my computer, and I know that comes at a great cost. That comes at an enormous cost to the Earth Mother, that she gets, stripped of that. So I can send this message to you that that's part of the sacred contract we have with things, that we have the sacred contract. But the sacred contract with the oil pipeline was not going to be accepted. We said no, because we already give away enough with other things when we pollute her and we abuse her. We're not willing to do that anymore. I'm not willing to do that anymore. I'm not willing to just take things for granted. Could you imagine if we didn't buy, if every human, or just say in America, every person in America for just 1 hour, just an hour, didn't buy anything, didn't put gas in their car, didn't turn on their TV, just total blackout, what that would do to the pocketbooks of these huge conglomerates, these huge corporations. But man has to work together, that we have to work together to find a common balance, common thread. Because right now we're kind of out of balance. We're out of balance. But today we came into a little bit of a harmony, a harmonic moment, when those permits weren't accepted. So I want to thank all of you, every single one of you, who took time to listen to this message today, to take time to go pray today, to took time to donate socks, to donate money, to donate your time driving, to take supplies, etc., etc., etc. You know who you are. Today, we can mark a victory for Standing Rock, a victory for mankind, a victory for the Earth Mother, a victory for our future, for our little life that we carry in our spirit, in our whole, right here. We did it. We did something together. I don't think people get what has just happened. I don't think it has set in yet. I think there's a sense of anxiousness and maybe a little slight paranoia because of all the stuff that we've seen. I know it's Sunday, and tomorrow's another day. But I'm here to remind you, do not fall asleep. Do not fall asleep. Do not go back and just assume that it's over, because it's not. I know that you're not. I know that you don't think that, but there are some of us who may think that. I'm here to remind those, do not fall asleep. Do not go back just because of this one battle that we've won. We have to stay vigilant. We have to stay on top of it. We have to stay in the flow of it. So I'm going to play my drum a little bit. and then we can sign off and just, and just sing a little bit. Hey, cherry, Pachimamae, Pachimamae, Pachimamae. Hey, Pachia, Mamae, Aguas, yeah, Aguas, yeah. Solintie, Pachimamae, Pachimamae, Pachimamae. Agua, medicina, ye, medicina, ye, medicina, ye. Pachimama, medicina, ye, medicina, ye, medicina, ye. Ay, ay, Pachimama, ay, ay, Pachimama, aguas limpias, Pachimama, damos gracias a la Pachimama. Aguas, aguas limpias, las aguas limpias. Pachimama, Pachimama, yeah. Pachimama, Pachimama, yeah. Aguas limpias, yeah. Pachimama, yeah. Solinti, yeah. Pachimama, damos gracias, yeah. Pachimama, yeah. Pachimama, yeah. Aguas limpias, Pachimama, Pachimama, aguas limpias, Together, we can do anything. We work together. I love you guys, and I'm proud of all of you who stood together. Peace and love, peace and hope, and respect for her, respect for us, respect for others. Because we are one heart, one beat, one spirit, one soul. We are the children of the earth. We are the children of the clay. We are the children of this beautiful organism called Mother Earth. We are all one. We just have differences, but we're all one. It doesn't matter. We don't always agree, and we don't always believe in the same things, and that's okay. But one thing is we're all from this earth. We're all from this soil. We're all from this land. Imagine yourself, think about yourself being an earth mother to the bacteria in your body and the germs, the cells, the blood, the flow, everything that's inside you. Imagine what you do for the living things that live upon you, just you. Would you pollute your body when you inject yourself or pull stuff out of you? Because if you do, then you harm your own Pachimama, your own spirit, your own soul. Recique, be grateful. Irisique, irisique. Be grateful for us. Be grateful for the earth. Be grateful for the people in your life. They challenge you, yes, but be grateful for them. Because they are all my relations. Matakuyasan. Oh, Matakuyasan. All my relations. We are all related. Good and bad. We are all related. There's no separation. We're all from source. We're all from something. If you don't believe in anything, that's the biggest belief you have to carry, that there is nothing. But we come from something bigger than us, grander than us, and it has an amazing experience through us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking time. Let's go in peace, in harmony for one another. Let's honor each other. Let's honor our space. Let's honor that not everybody is going to be in alignment with you. Let's pray that they at least have a glimpse, a hope. People are hurting out there. Sometimes I hurt. Sometimes you hurt. Let's set intentions that we can do better as a race, as a human race. Not a Hispanic or a Native or an Asian or, whatever. But as human beings, as the Rainbow Tribe. The Rainbow Tribe has always been here, but the Rainbow Tribe has gathered at Standing Rock, at your church, at your metaphysical store, at your park, on the bus, in your room, your living rooms, your front yards, backyards, wherever you prayed, you came together as one, as the Rainbow Tribe, as the prophecy has foretold. But our work is not done. Now that we are here, and now that we're aware, our work has just begun. It's not a place of ego, it's a place of love. It's a place of acceptance, a place of understanding, and also a place of knowing that it's not always going to be easy. Our brothers and sisters, the animals, are with us as well. Even through the fires that happen in Tennessee, from those ashes, the phoenix will rise. We will rise from that. The animals will rise from that. As we rise together and raise the vibration that we did with Standing Rock, this victory was not a fluke. It was going to come. We just didn't know when. Because so many of us knew that it had to happen. It had to be. I love you guys. I really, really appreciate your support and everything that you do for the things that I do and all the things that you did for Standing Rock. And I appreciate those of you who listen to me or tag me or put me on post because you thought it was important what I had to share. I'm just a player in the midst of all the other players. I'm just one of those folks sharing my beliefs, my energy, and what I experienced. But you guys are here, and I appreciate that. We did this together. Team effort, team life, team water, team wind, team earth. And there's not much more I can say. All I can say is just love one another, do your best, respect one another. Okay? And then I'll see you guys soon. I promise I'll keep in touch more. But I've been in that place too, of prayer and just meditation and just holding that space and hoping that whatever ounce of energy I have that could be a positive thing for the situation, that it would play out.
As I sit here,
and today,
burn my sage,
it did.
I think about the ancestors who stood together
I'm grateful.
500 years ago today.
I'm grateful for a lot of things. Irisikwi.
My story starts 100 years ago today. 10,000 plus stood up and said no way, no way. The black snake